You want me to intro it? I can
dude,
intro
go
it.
for it.
All right, cool. What is going on YouTube? My name is Brett, and this is Jared. Welcome back to our first episode of our podcast.
Yeah.
Our new little once-a-week show that we want to do, where we're just going to sit down for 20 minutes, talk, see what's up, see what our thoughts are, and yeah. Oh, I turned the lamp on. Look at that.
I turned the light. I looked at myself and I was like, yeah, it's a little dark. It's a little dark.
It fits the mood.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and specifically in this podcast episode, we're just going to talk about our background. We haven't really sat down and just explained ourselves.
Ask each other some questions, like really, so then all of you can really get to know us. A little bit of backstories, Yeah.
Okay, how do you want to start it? You want why don't we start from the beginning? I think that's the easiest way, right?
Yeah, we can start from the beginning.
Just a brief. It doesn't have to be like soap opera episode.
Yeah,
45 minutes here, but
beginning of the Brett Jared story. This is my side of the story. So, I would have been like 4 or 5, and my mom just got in a new relationship with my stepdad, Jerry, and we all moved to go live with him in Oshawa, right? And that would have been.
And this is Ontario, Canada, for anyone that doesn't know.
2005, I want to say. So we're in South Ontario. We moved to Oshawa from Oakville, and my mom started going to the gym, and I was at the daycare there. My mom was like, I don't want to do this anymore, right? So, but she still had to find a daycare for me, and that's when I guess your mom's ad or somehow word of mouth.
Yeah, I don't know how. Maybe from school, probably. I would assume.
Brett's mom used to run a daycare with a lot of the kids, and I got put into it, and it was like right away. Me and Brett, we were just kind of we would never ever leave each other's side. We were always
attached
terrorizing the other kids.
Good times.
We used to we pretty much just fooled around and goofed around, and like I have vague memories of us kind of treating the daycare like a miniature mafia, where we you would go around and just terrorize the other kids, and it was fun. I remember
we were on some odd tangent of like just harassment.
Yeah.
Anything we could do just to piss people off. It was like, yeah, let's do it.
Dude, it was awesome. And the other kids loved it. They loved it too, though, right? So like it was all good play, right? But
some days for sure. Some days we had cries, but that's okay.
Poor Cameron.
It's all. Yeah.
Anyway, going on from there, we were in daycare for probably about a year, and then we went to JK at St. Hedwig. And St. Hedwig is like a little Catholic school.
Elementary.
Yeah, elementary school.
Quaint little school with like usually 80 to 120 kids at all times.
Actually, fun fact, but Jerry, my stepdad, he actually went to that school growing up as well. But at the time, it was run by nuns.
Really?
Yeah. So and then over time,
I knew that school was old school, man. That place needed some update. It needed some funding.
Yeah,
it needed something to drag it out of his tombstone.
So anyway, we basically started JK, and it's kind of like when we started really like finding fun stuff to do.
Well, we were growing, right? We actually we had a little bit more of a brain and knowledge on what we did and didn't enjoy.
Do you remember the Go-Go's?
Yeah. Those toys, those things were awesome. The little plastic guys.
Yeah, I used to have the wildest imagination as a kid. Like I could be in the playground and some those weird kids that are like you just see them like pretending to be dinosaurs and shit. That was me as a kid, man.
It's funny. I used to do it as a kid, but I couldn't get into it. I felt so weird. Like there was this one kid I used to play with in the playground, and he used to play like Pokemon and pretend that he was like a trainer and shit. And he would be like, "Hey, yo, let's go milk some cows," and he'd be on the ground and he'd be like, just going like this, milking cows, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, but like, yo, kid, like." this isn't working for me. Like, it's just not happening right now.
Bro.
I don't care if you think you're doing it. You're not. You're doing the maraca shake or whatever.
Dude, like, for real though, like, when you have,
But yo, all props to him to have that kind of
Yeah, I
imagination.
had
Though.
that
Like, I
kind of
wish.
imagination.
I wish, man.
yeah,
That's awesome.
I had that imagination as a kid, dude. Like, I was wild.
Yeah.
I was wild.
No, we had a great childhood, but I feel like we had an even better high school life. Like,
Yeah, but like,
I don't know. It was just more fun.
I don't know though. Like, I feel like there was a lot. Like every day we were like going down to the school playing Nerf guns. You know, like it was really fun.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, because we lived so close
Yeah.
together, like we were only a few blocks away,
we were like at
or like a
Eastview.
neighborhood away.
Right, we were at Eastview.
Yeah, big playground. Yeah, yeah, that place
Played
was,
all
that place
the
was a lot
time
of fun.
there. We had like a good squad too, right? Like there was always drama. There was always like something going on. You know, like the little kids and their crushes. You know, like I had the biggest crush on Katie, dude. Like beyond. But like I didn't know what a relationship was or anything like that. So like I was just some little kid who had a crush on a girl and just thought that was that. You know, like it
Yeah.
was no other intentions. You know.
Yeah,
Just so
I used to get
innocent.
frustrated with you because you would bring it up a lot. I remember like when you were understanding and trying to figure out what it meant. I didn't give a shit, man. I was like, let's get back to tag.
not until
Like,
you
I got
older,
better
dude.
things to do.
You had the
That's why I got older, but
had a
like, but
crush
it's
on
because you,
Aurora,
dude, you
dude.
would talk to me. You would talk to me for days. So like, if I didn't say something and to get you to shut up, like I would have dealt with it for months.
Yeah, dude,
It's just
for
like,
real.
hey Brett, who do you like? Who do you like, Brett? Hey Brett, you know. And then if I can ward you off for the day, I felt good. But then the next morning, 8 a.m., hey Brett,
you
what are you
gotta
doing?
realize it. You gotta realize that growing up with 3 older sisters and being like the youngest guy, that's all you hear at home. Like all
Yeah.
teenage girls talk about are boys. You know? So, and I'm not trying to stereotype or anything, but it's true, you know, like
Yeah.
So,
You're surrounded
I was
by
surrounded
it.
by it, so I was just like, oh my goodness, like I need to have a crush and I need to talk about it all the time too, or else I'm gonna be left out.
Otherwise, I don't fit in. I'm not
Literally
normal.
though, that's how it works for you, right? So I was like, I was
Yeah.
I'm a victim of my environment, dude. I was pushed
A midlife, you're having a midlife crisis at the age of 8.
for real.
If I can't find love, what is life?
Yeah, seriously. Just like Katie had a crush on Kyle, right? And it was like this crazy like Kyle didn't care about relationship with her, right? But like I wanted
Yeah, because
to,
we're
like,
in elementary school.
it was like this crazy
Yeah,
love
it's a good
triangle,
time.
dude. Like it was like what the hell is going on? I'm like 8 years old. Screw up. Yeah, dude. So like that.
Oh man.
Like, those years were pretty good, you know.
Oh no, I'm not saying they were horrible. No, they were
they were
amazing.
pretty good.
Great time.
They were really like.
But like, I feel like the memories have only gotten better the older I've gotten. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah, I agree.
the
Well,
more
we've gone a
the
lot
more
with
crazy they
freedom,
get.
right? Like,
Just suck it on.
do you
on a
remember
lollipop.
Beavers?
Yeah,
We went to
yeah.
Beavers
I did.
together.
Yeah, I always forget that you did it because I did it the whole thing. Like I went
Yeah,
straight.
I
up to
only did it for the
Adventures, so,
short
like-
little bit because like my mom was like talking to your mom and your mom was like, "Oh, it's done wonders for Brett," and then my mom was like, "Jared's a little shit. Maybe this will fix him."
Yeah, we should
right?
straighten him out, fix him up.
Yeah, no, it didn't though. Like it made
No.
things worse.
We didn't. I'm pretty sure we didn't work well together in that group either. Like it
Well,
just.
We just did our own thing, you know, like.
Yeah, we couldn't handle the actual activities in front of us, and it was just like, well, we're just hanging out.
I will forever love the memory of polishing apples for hours. Going to like
Those are the
crack-
good days,
crack
man.
corner,
Yeah.
bro, downtown.
Ah!
Alpha, you know,
Yeah, because
you're
our
just, like,
downtown's so like
you're just
cracky,
trying to
but
sell
it's
some crack at an apple. Like it's so like I can't believe they made kids do that, dude. That's so funny.
Dude, Jared, no, it's normal in a normal neighborhood, but when your town's a crack town,
It's like-
that's when it's
Like,
sketchy.
you want an apple?
Yeah, you stand at the grocery store. There's this crackhead that's just waking up for his morning. Like, why is there children in front of me with apples?
Wearing trippy ass uniforms, you know.
Yeah. Oh
"Oh,
man,
sir,
I
I'm
remember I
trying
used to get so
my
bored
apple
there.
selling badge. Can you buy an apple from me? man's just like, fuck off.
Yo, I knew I had a food addiction as a kid when I couldn't stop eating the apples, bro. You know how many apples I used to sneak? Like,
Dude,
I used to eat like 4 or 5.
still
I'd get
are, though.
sick of
Like,
them by the end of the day.
It hasn't changed, Brett. Literally
No, I
every time you
know.
cook, you somehow cook with apples. Like, it's just like, dude, applesauce, apple juice. Like, literally, our groceries when we were living together, bro, were like tubs of applesauce. Entire boxes of 2-liter cartons of apple juice, right? And then you would bake every once in a while, and you'd be baking the same thing every time, bro. And it was like the
apple cake. What do I say? I'm a connoisseur for apples.
You are. Like, you should actually start an apple orchard, Brett. You should.
Oh
you
my
should.
god. King of the apples, bro. Yo, I'll be on some Tiger King shit. Just like king penning everybody. Like, get off my apple orchard, man.
Dude, turn into like an amusement park. Apple World.
Oh my god. I'd have to do it next to the Big Red Apple.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You should go there, bro. Take pictures of that
literally
place.
like 10 minutes from my house.
Shit. You should do that. It's easy.
Yeah, it is easy.
It's just like a big smiley face and a big red ball, and all you have to do is smile next to it.
Yeah, for real. So
easy content.
yeah, so
all right, we're hitting the 12-minute marker here. So where do you wanna take it?
All right, well,
yeah, I want to hit you that halfway point.
Okay. Well, anyway, so the rest of middle school, we just kind of did our own thing, and then I moved.
Complete cut, yo, middle school, shit happened, whatever.
I moved, right? I moved, and then you were alone, and then we never went to school again after that. The minute I moved, like, our friendship always maintained long distance.
Yeah, we were never really in close contact at all.
And there were like times where when we were younger, like we wouldn't talk for like 3 or 4 months, and then like we would just hit each other up, and we'd talk for a few months, you know, and then it would fall off a little bit.
It was an on and off thing.
But, like,
for
we
sure.
always picked up where we left off.
That went on for a long time though. It felt like from honestly like grade 6 to like
it was a long period, 10, right?
Because 10, like, or 11, like. It was a while. Because at grade 11, we had that whole summer together, right? We had that spring and summer with Lawrence and everyone.
Yeah,
and
we're jumping all the way, but like from it would have been from like grade 7 to grade maybe 10. You know, that maybe grade 9. Like we were a little like not.
Yeah, basically like a whole middle school.
Yeah, for like the end of it, right? But. Whatever, you know, we got busy. I moved to Toronto. I was doing a lot of family shit.
Yeah, you were moving all over the place though. I like, stayed in one spot. I was in the same house.
Alberta for a bit, but that didn't really work out.
Yeah, that was only for 3/4 of a year. Like I wasn't even like I was in and out pretty quick.
But it was a couple years till we actually talked in person. But we always like every once in a while would hit each other up and see how life was going.
Yeah, and then
World of Warcraft or something together.
I feel like high school, the turning point again was Canada Day. Was just like trying to meet up for that one day, and after that we kind of just
me and you
started
we met
staying
up,
closer
and that's when
again.
like I was with like some like Jack and Heather. And, like,
yeah, because you were introducing me to a bunch of other people too.
Yeah, like there was a whole squad. I remember that day. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then after all that craziness, which is weird, right? So we have like our high school adventures with our high school friends, and then we leave Ontario. We just ditch it. 2018, we're like, fuck it. Who needs Ontario?
We had like an amazing 2018, even after high school. You know, like.
Yeah, because high school ended in June. I wasn't even in school that year. I was just chilling at home.
Do you remember the actual like what happened? So like you guys drove to Brighton from Oshawa, you and Lawrence, right?
Multiple times. Yeah. So at this time in 2018, Jared was living in Brighton, which is.
I graduated, and the very next day, you guys picked me up, drove me to my grandparents. I said goodbye to my grandparents. I said goodbye to my family. We all got in the car, right? We drove back. We did our own thing in Oshawa for a couple of weeks, right? And then me and Lawrence got in a car and we drove across Canada. You were in Alberta at this point already, right? Because you flew out like a week earlier.
So when we picked you up, you said you goodbye to your family, and then you went and lived with Lawrence for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
As that was happening, I had already left to Alberta with my family, my immediate family, to go live there. And then you guys were making your transition.
Yeah, and then we all moved into this small little dormitory, like
bunk beds and all, no walls, baby, like
we split the bedroom in half. Me and Brett, we shared a bunk bed.
We put a curtain up halfway to like pretend there was like a wall of privacy.
Oh man, it was so tight, dude. It was so.
Yeah, and the best part too, in Canada, it's 19 to legally drink in Ontario, but it's 18 to drink in Alberta.
I remember.
So it was socks. It was. Oh,
I went and I was able to go into clubs and stuff as an 18-year-old.
It was a free for all, dude. Like,
frig, man. Like,
I remember if I went in there and I saw another 18-year-old, I was like, I don't know what you're doing, but I know I'm getting up to anything that is not okay.
I got so drunk so many times, bro. Like, 'cause I didn't know my limit. Like, I never drank like that before, right? So like, I used to go out and I'd have like 2 bottles.
I used to party, but it was house parties. So once I did club partying, I was like, this is a different game. This is a different ballpark. Like, wow.
First week in Banff, full of mistakes, man. Full of mistakes, learning lessons, and after that, everything else.
Yeah, you got Banffed, bro. You got Banffed hard.
Really hard, dude.
Yeah,
I was some 18-year-old kid full of energy and full of shit, and just I took
just drinking bottles of wine, man. Just crushing it. Tequila, like bring it, baby.
I can't drink wine anymore because of that one week.
No.
Because of that, especially on that one Wednesday, dude, where I drank 2 bottles of wine.
Wine Wednesday, baby.
Yeah,
that'll do it for you, man. That'll do it.
I remember
traumatizing
recently, like jumping a little forward.
Keep going.
So pretty much like. We all lived in Banff, we did our own thing. You ended up going back to Lethbridge after a few months, right?
Yeah, which is in southern Alberta, which is initially where my family...
after you left, it may have been like 2 months after that we left, but like those months that we spent together, like it was like...
Yeah, it was another 10 months in Banff together. That was just beautiful.
Like, especially when all 3 of us were still living together in that little dorm, like... We
5 months of just chaos,
man, because you're like super motivated, like I gotta do stuff, and Lawrence at the time was just like, hey man, like if I'm not working, I'm sitting on the couch, I'm smoking weed, and I'm playing video games.
Yeah,
right?
I'm smoking weed by the ounce, baby. Like, let's get it. Like, and you know what? That's a life to live.
Yeah,
like,
he was happy. Like,
Well, we all had our motivations, right?
Yeah, we all had things we wanted.
You were just like, alcohol. Let me just try every sip of it.
Like, that's all I care about. I was hooked. The minute I got into I still am.
The local
if
club,
everything
man.
opened up and somebody came up to me and there's like, we need you to party every single day for the rest of your life. We'll cover all your food, all your expenses, everything.
Oh my God.
I'll do it, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I plan on being like an 80-year-old man still going to clubs party.
Do it, man. I want to go in there with my walker, just raising hell. You know what I mean?
And I'm just gonna,
I
I
was gonna say, if I throw my walker, bro, my hips are gonna give out. I'm gonna die. Just die.
Just play it off. Like when you hit the floor, just like try to do some breakdance.
I hope that the song, like let the body hit the flow, just starts playing.
so anyway, moving forward, we moved to Banff. Great. We were all 18. We moved out. I went back to Ontario. We didn't really see each other very much from 2000.
No, again, back to that long distance stuff, right?
I moved back, and me and Brett, we celebrated Halloween, and it's become almost like a tradition. Like Halloween is always like a
yearly thing. Yeah.
We always do something no matter what.
A special occasion of sorts.
And yeah, like we ended up linking up. I moved back to Banff. And you would come down, like it would be like once every month, once every couple months, and we would just like party really hard on a weekend. Then you'd go back home.
Yeah, just binge party for 3 days straight. Like I could handle it, Go back home just dead.
And then COVID hit. I got laid off from Banff. You were still in Lethbridge working.
Which is like we were a 3-hour difference apart from each other. So.
And then I ended up going back to Ontario, and I like sat in my mom's basement for like a few months, and like family was kind of tossing me around because no one really wanted to deal with me. And then Brett called me.
Hey, We're at our 20-minute marker, so
I'll wrap.
if you want to
Yeah.
wrap up where we're at, we're getting really close to the present. We're doing good.
We're doing really good. So pretty much, Brett hit me up. I was in Ontario. This would have been like 2020, right? COVID still knocked everyone on their feet, and you were just like, "Hey, let's get an apartment together." I moved to Lethbridge, back to Alberta from Ontario. We did our whole Dog Den YouTube channel. We did all of our videos. We got an apartment together.
We started that up in Lethbridge. Actually, we started the channel.
So like.
Just kind of shooting like whatever we could, like whatever we thought was fun, interesting, trying to get out there. Like we were just trying to make the best of COVID also.
And then
with everything going on, all the chaos.
And then pretty much like after all that happened, we just like kind of linked up, and we were like, hey, I'm going back home. You're like, okay, I'll go back home too. We both went back home, and Bob's your uncle, man. That's the future.
Yeah, we've been moving back and forth a lot. Like our lives have been ever changing every 6 to 8 months.
I've gone from Alberta to Ontario, I think like 12 or 14 times now within the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's been a huge back and forth, but no, I think you've said it well. Fuck, that was not English. You've said it well. You've said it well.
There's a lot of stories in
the
between there, like we kind of.
We could talk all day long, man. Like we could sit here all day. Yeah, when you have 17 years of memories, yeah, like together, it's
kind of like the rough thing. That's me and Brett,
Yeah, that's our lives. That sums us up for sure. Well, no, I think this was good. This was.
Do you want to wrap this up, Brett?
It's great little talk. Yeah, let's wrap it up. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening to our brief little story. We obviously have a lot to talk about, and we could just talk for hours. But we are going to cut it here. We're going to stop, and we're going to hopefully keep doing this once a week, right, Jared?
And
I think I'm enjoying it. We're just going to keep bringing new topics, and
we have so
whatever
much to talk about, and
and whatever's going on in the world too. We'll talk about current events. So, anyways, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
See you next time.
See ya.